Back when I was about 13, I would play video games all day, and my life was honestly just kind of depressing. And of course, I wanted it to be different, but I always believed that I simply couldn't. I always believed that, the world was just against me. I thought that for some reason I couldn't do anything about my situation. And psychologists call this an external locus of control, which means that you believe that something beyond yourself is the reason for your circumstance. You believe that you are not in control. And the belief that you're not in control is extremely limiting. Imagine if someone said that no matter what you wanted, it's up to your circumstances if you can or cannot. And some people live a reality like that, but it's rare. For most people in the United States, your life is yours. And this locus of control actually sets successful people apart from unsuccessful people. Because, for one, successful people think that everything is in their hands. And by principle of knowing that they can achieve something, they'll try to achieve it more than the person who, for example, believes that it's impossible for them to achieve something. And secondly, it's because people with an external locus of control are, in a sense, hopeless. When you don't believe that you can get something or you don't believe that it's in your power to do something, then you're not going to try. It's called learned helplessness. So, the reason why you would like an internal locus of control is to have control of your life. Because if you currently have an external locus of control, you might be making excuses like, oh, well, I mean, because of this or money or, it doesn't matter. Genuinely, it is in your control. And the reason that we want an internal locus of control is because we want to stop living a life where, nothing is up to you. Of course, you want to stop living a life like that, right? And the way that we can get an internal locus of control is radical accountability. So, back on the beginning of my self-improvement journey, like I said, had an external locus of control and I believed I couldn't do anything. I believed that, in my own words, I don't care about my heart's health. That's how I put it back then. And, that's terrible. That's terrible. And one of the things that really changed my life, got me the physique that I'd like, was just accountability. Just saying that anything that's happening is up to me to respond to. And I need you to take this like into your soul, into your heart, because external locus of control, believing that it's not your problem, or maybe not that it's not your problem, but that it's not up to you, is very, very poor. It's very poor for your success. It's one of the many keys to reaching where you want to be. Imagine if you wanted to lose weight, for example, and you believed, well, it's up to my metabolism if I lose weight, or it's up to, the way I feel or whatever. That is, you're not going to make any progress because you're going to wait until your metabolism is going to let you lose weight. And the problem is, this is a little side, but your metabolism isn't going to make you lose weight because the whole point of it is to keep you where you are. But anyway, this is my accountability journal. It goes from July 28th of 2023 to January 28th of 2024. I have pages and pages of just straight habit trackers in here. And why is it called accountability journal? I wrote it right there. Sorry, it's a little dirty. But why is it called an accountability journal? Well, let's look at some of the pages. So, this is however August 5th went. So, I didn't meditate, but I did shower. I didn't work out. I didn't improve, and I'm not sure what some of these mean because it's been a while, but these are all habits. This is if I did them or not. And sure, this day is pretty awful. This one too. But then we get a little bit better. And I suspect if my mind won't play tricks on me, that yes, things start getting better after they were worse. Now, of course, following the ups and downs of self-improvement, you'll have the peak and then the fall. But the point of an accountability journal, bless me, is so that you can stay accountable. You know, I'm not waking up every day sitting there like, you know, getting a score of what? Sorry. This is actually a good streak here. I'm trying to find a bad day. You know, I'm not waking up on a day where I only do a couple habits and I'm just like, oh, okay. You know, I'm okay because, you know, the world wouldn't let me, you know, whatever. This journal is where I wrote down what I did and didn't do. You know, there is no like, oh, circumstances. There is straight up, did I do it? Did I not do it? If I didn't, it's on me. And so, radical accountability, even making a habit tracker or an entire journal worth of habit trackers. You know, habit trackers are literally completely for accountability. That's the whole point. You should make an accountability journal, aka a habit journal. Secondly, accountability is extremely essential for success because, for one, you know what you're doing wrong, and secondly, you know that you can change it. If you're not accountable, you don't think you can change it because you don't think you're responsible for it. Like, imagine if you were having terrible days, you know, you didn't meditate, you didn't gratitude journal, you didn't read for like 2 weeks straight. And during the whole 2 weeks, you just said, oh, you know, I'm overwhelmed with school and work and everything. So, I mean, I guess it's fine that I'm not doing it. Are you going to want to change after 14 days if you still think, oh, it's okay? You know, it's okay that I'm doing it like this, or it's okay that I'm not doing anything. No, you're not going to want to change because you're not being accountable. You think that until school or work gets better, that's when you can finally do it. But in reality, you could do it now. You could literally do 1 second of meditation. You could gratitude journal one fucking word. It doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter your circumstance. You are responsible for this. It is not school. It is not work. If you're not doing what you want yourself to be doing, it's up to you to change that. And, you know, this is something which just sounds like everybody should know this, but it's actually uncommon for people to know this because you know what it takes to be fully accountable? It takes a very, very big hit to your ego. It's no longer the world attacking you. It's you being lazy. It's you not doing what you should be doing. Or it's you being a bad person. Let's say, for example, that you're fat, you know, instead of having to say like, oh, my metabolism, or, you know, my parents just don't make good food, or I don't have time to exercise. Full accountability makes you go from that to, I'm not eating correctly. You know, I'm not eating the right things I should be eating, and I'm not exercising enough, and I'm not making time for the goal that I really want. And, you know, that causes pain. That will make you feel bad, but that's good for you. You know, if you don't like something, if you're dissatisfied with something, why would you let it stay the same? There's two components to your growth here. One, you're unhappy with it. Two, you think you can change it. Logically speaking, if you think you can change it and you're unhappy with it, you're going to change it. And accountability makes you unhappy with something because you know that it could be better. And Two, it makes it to where you know you can change it. You're being accountable. You are responsible for your existence. And you know, if you can't be accountable, you're not going to be successful. Period. It doesn't matter how good you are at this or that. You're never going to consistently meet the expectations that you want to meet, and you're never even going to believe that it's up to you. And if it's not up to you, how is it going to give you your goals? It's not, because you can't control it if you're not accountable for it, if you're not responsible for it. So take control of everything in your life. Everything. I'm talking from sleep to diet to exercise to even the way you think, your thought processes. If you end up thinking like, oh man, it's school or work, next time that happens, just say, no, it's not. It's me. Like, repeat that until you straight up say, okay, until that voice in your head that says it's work or school just shuts up. Because once you become accountable, you'll realize that, wow, I can just really do whatever I want, and that's really amazing because in the world, people with an external locus of control who aren't accountable, they are living like the wind. They're just flowing throughout their life. And that's okay for some of us, but it really isn't okay for me. I don't think it's okay for you either, to be honest. Because what happens when a hurricane comes for the wind? Well, the wind's just gone. It's just the wind is just completely playing, it's playing hurricanes game now. So, yeah, not to rant, not to go too far and lose the point, but take accountability and responsibility for everything in your life. Wherever you are, it is your fault. It is at this point in your life, you are where you are because of your choices, because of your actions, because of the things that you think, the things that you do, the things that you value, and the actions that you've taken throughout your life. That is the reason why you're here. And if wherever here is for you is not where you want to be, it's your fault. Just take it take it like a man. Right now, it's your fault that you're unhappy. Right now, it's your fault if you're lonely. It's your fault if you don't have a girlfriend or if you don't have many friends. If you tried getting friends, if you tried becoming attractive, then of course you'd get a girlfriend. That's just how it works. If you tried becoming an interesting person, maybe not even that. If you tried building yourself up to someone who you respect, and if you tried living authentically and being you and meeting new people, of course you'd make friends. It's not even a question of if. If you deserve friends, you're going to get friends. It's not a question of if anymore, it's when. Once you move through the actions, move through the world with enough gusto, with the feeling that, it's up to you and you are deciding what happens here, then it doesn't matter rain or shine. It doesn't matter if you are super stressed from work. You know that no matter what, it's up to you. Nobody is going to come save you. Nobody is going to come help you. You need to be able to live and exist and grow on your own. And that isn't to say that you should avoid social contact, or you should avoid being with other people or getting help from other people, but you should avoid relying on help from other people. So practically, this means like if you're feeling down, if you need some time, don't expect nobody to come and be like, "Hey, are you okay?" Nobody cares. Unfortunately, nobody cares. And if you want to talk to somebody about something, bring it up yourself. Ask them if they want to talk about it with you. That's taking responsibility and accountability. You want to have this chat with them, then you're going to come up and ask them to have this chat. If they don't want it, so be it. If they don't want to talk to you about it, so be it. You need to find a way to work with it yourself. And importantly, having an external locus of control just makes you just super lazy. It makes you extremely lazy, and people with an external locus of control, they don't really do anything. They just kind of do whatever they're called to do. You know, um, People with an external locus of control are not disciplined. You know, that they can't be disciplined. Why? Because they think that it's up to the way they feel. They think that, hey, you know, however circumstances are, if they change, I change. If the world changes, I change. You know, if my feelings change, my actions change. And discipline itself is the act of doing things when you don't want to do them. But people with an external locus of control will say, well, I don't want to do this right now, so I just won't. You know, they just won't do what they should do because, oh, I don't feel like it. Is that a good reason? No, not really. And yes, that's about it. So the key thing to take away is number one, make yourself an accountability journal. Um, so just make some habits. So meditation, gratitude journaling, reading, um, timely sleep, exercise, whatever. Make habits, track it across, and make the entire journal about that. Don't like write here and chit chat. Make the whole journal just a bunch of habit trackers day by day by day. Second, take accountability for everything in your life. You are responsible for your success. You are responsible for your response to anything that happens in the world, and wherever you are, whether you like it or not, is your fault. It is up to you, and it was you. If you're happy right now, if you accomplish something, if you get a good body, it is you. You made the body. You made the mind. You make the success, but you also make the failure. And you need to accept both totally. And finally, have an internal locus of control and avoid an external locus of control. An internal locus of control is you saying, I have control of my life. Because you do. You have control of the actions you take, the things you think about, what you research, all of this. You have control of all of it. An internal locus of control is one of the keys to your success. So avoid thinking that, oh, it's because of God, or it's because of, like, I don't know, my metabolism. If it's not in your control, just don't even worry about it. Don't assume that something external of your control is the reason that, you act. The reason that you do something shouldn't be because something else compels you to do it. It should be because you personally believe you should do it. And the reason you don't do something shouldn't be because something else compels you not to do it. Like, for example, if you believe that God is punishing you, or if you believe, that's a bad example, but if you believe that, amazing example with the metabolism here, but I'm trying to find something different. If you believe that your grades are bad because the teacher is bad at teaching, you have an external locus of control. Take that and just tell yourself, no, it's not the teacher's fault. Her whole job is teaching. He or she, their entire job is teaching. And if you're not learning from it, it doesn't mean they're a bad teacher. They have degrees. They've been doing this for years, and they're still there. If they make bad grades consistently, they'd be kicked out. Their whole job is teaching. They're a good teacher. You're a bad learner. You are a bad learner. That's where it is. They aren't the problem. You are the problem because you are in control of your results. If you have a bad grade in a class, it's your fault. It's not because of the school. It's not because of the teacher. It's not because the study material is just too hard. It's you. It's your fault. And you can summarize the entire video by saying it's all your fault. And that's okay, because any success you make is also your fault. So, yeah,